Hello, I'm Stephen Monkey Mason, and welcome back to my podcast series. I'm joined by Lubo himself, Mr. Carl. We were meant to record Police Academy 4 and 5 tonight, but Paul Ray has got diarrhea. So that's all we're going to say at the last minute. So Carl has we have literally said, what should we watch? And I wanted to do Marked for Death. And Carl says, I haven't got it. I was like, well, you better get it because I've already said we're going to do it. And he just went, let's do Total Recall, and I've got some love for this film. I'm going to be gutted because I listen to the comedy quite a lot. So we're going to do Total Recall, the original Arnold Schwarzenegger version. So 3, 2, 1, play. Now, this is by Studio Canal, and I think they should do a good box set of this, like they did with John Carpenter's stuff.
I was going to say it definitely got it. I mean, I mentioned earlier on when we were talking about the Steelbook. I mean, the Steelbook I've got from HMV, I really quite like it. And it's actually one of those ones that hasn't gone crazy money either. I think you can probably still get it online for a reasonable price.
I'll have a look, mate, but honestly, this bit here with the horse, right? Yeah. When you listen to the commentary, right, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Paul Verhoeven, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, my name is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this is me riding towards the screen on a horse. That is the opening line of the commentary, and I have burst out laughing. I didn't realise how funny Arnold Schwarzenegger is, and just when he's talking about this. And obviously they talked about Arnold Schwarzenegger being RoboCop, and Paul Verhoeven was like, you're not going to fit in it. And Schwarzenegger said, I want to work with you after RoboCop, and Schwarzenegger really pushed for this script to be bought, and he was really this is what he wanted to do next. I mean, look at the font coming down the screen. It's fucking well weird, that.
It's really nice, yeah.
I mean, again with this, it's the front cover has always looked weird. It's just Arnold Schwarzenegger in a triangle. It's like...
Totally. The colours are really nice on this Blu-ray. I was just thinking, because the funny thing is, I don't know if it's just my eye, but the menu screen didn't look that sharp, and I remember turning this on thinking, ooh, this is not going to look that great in terms of quality. But then when you actually play the film, I quite like it. I think it's really well done.
Well, the thing is about the menu screen, when I was looking there, when I was just waiting to start dropping this, the triangle again had it black and white and red on the outside. And this film might be quite funny if they did a special edition like the John Carpenter quadology they did, where you get a poster, you get the soundtrack, because it's got quite a good score. It would be really cool if they did a chrome edition of this on 4K.
Yeah, definitely. Well, now's the time to do it.
Well, it's Jerry Goldsmith as well. His name's just appeared on the screen, so you know what I mean. Yeah. It's First Blood. It's the Gremlins guy, brilliant composer.
But this was in development for years, though, wasn't it? So I mean,
Rob Bottin as well. The Thing.
Yeah, The Thing.
Yeah. Schwarzenegger. Obviously, I think it got sold around a couple of times. Obviously, it is based on the short story. I remember you for Wholesale or something. It's one of them weird sci-fi names. Are you still there? It's not a very good start. Are you still there? Hello? Lubo? God, we lost Carl. Oh, right, he's there. I was going to say, it always them sci-fi films like Blade Runner, or like What I Dream of Electric Sheep and stuff. They've always got a weird book title. So,
well, this is a time where people start picking that sort of stuff up.
Now, this had a lot of hype in the day because this was really start of tinkering around with a lot of digital effects. I think blue screen and matte painting, this matte painting here and all that, they had reached their perfection with this kind of stuff. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that's stunning, that, man.
Because there's so many real elements in that, you know what I mean? It can't be your mind's not thinking, oh, they're just standing in front of it like a green screen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So off the start, right, what do you think about this? Is it all in his head, or is it the best action adventure ever?
Well, there you go. That is the ultimate question, and I think, to be honest with you, I want to lean towards the fact that it definitely best action adventure ever. I feel like it does a great job of making you think, is it or isn't it?
Oh, his eyes pop out.
I mean, that that image stayed with me for years. I think even when I watched an Arnie film that was not even close to being like Total Recall, it's instantly, as soon as I see his face, I just see his eyes popping out, and it's just mental.
Oh, his eyes popping out. I think he gets lobotomized. I mean, Schwarzenegger says he gets lobotomized if you listen to the commentary. That's why there's a fade out to white. The dream is over. You know, something went right or wrong. It's the best trip ever. Again, it's one of those ones where you like, if you look about that now, this film, what, 30 years old, and we're still fucking talking about is he or isn't he, no matter what the fucking remake said, and it leaves people the question.
It always comes down with, though. I mean, you want it to be real, don't you? But I think logically speaking, the way the film plays out, it could very much is likely that it was all in his head. But I think to me, if someone asked me that question, I always think, well, I want it to be that it was real.
And it shows you that Schwarzenegger was very smart about his scripts, you know what I mean? He had got his foot in Hollywood, and he wanted to make good movies. Do you know what I mean? And this is one of them where, you know, he likes sci-fi and stuff. Now, Sharon Stone, she should be in the Expendables. I mean, she's in with Stallone on Specialist.
Yeah.
Basic Instinct was a big hit for her, you know.
Definitely.
God, how weird's that? We were going to
Judge Dredd.
She's not in Judge Dredd.
Is she not the main bad guy?
No.
Sure, I thought she was the main villain at the end.
She's the baddie in Catwoman.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what it is? I can honestly say I technically did see that film, but it was purely down to my granddad watching it and me being in the same room. I wasn't listening at all, but I just remember every time I looked over, I was like, what the fuck's going on in that film?
Well, I've just we would have been watching her anyway because she's in Police Academy 4, which we were originally meant to watch.
That's very true, yes.
And obviously Paul Verhoeven directed Basic Instinct, so you know what I mean. He dips and dabs, he dips around in the sexual exploit, but he also, you know, he's been a very, very front man for sci-fi, RoboCop, Hollow Man, but then he's directed some weird stuff like Black Book and Basic Instinct and stuff like that. He's done a lot of well, you know, so now this is blue screen, and it's not far off. We're not there yet with technology, but we're not far off this idea of having a widescreen telly.
Yeah, I mean, you can say it's fake, but when you consider when this was made, it totally works.
I mean, it was heavily marketed. I mean, there's Ronnie Cox as well. He was in RoboCop as well. I was thinking, what film was he in recently? And it might have been another Paul Verhoeven film, but Ronnie Cox is in it, and he doesn't really have much, and he never comes back. Hey,
Ronnie Cox, I don't know. He's one of those names that probably wouldn't have known who you on about at first until you mentioned.
Schwarzenegger at his prime.
It is. I mean, you were saying how smart he was in his film choices, and I always kind of look back on, like, it's no, like, secret that him and Stallone had a bit of a competition going on, but I think the best trick he ever pulled was convincing Stallone that he needed to stop or my mum will shoot. It's just a fantastic story when you hear either both ends of them telling it, because I've seen interviews where both of them have mentioned it, and Stallone, he does it best in a sense of he puts his hand up and says, I was an idiot. All I heard was apparently Arnie's looking into doing it, and then all of a sudden that was it. That film had to be his. Didn't even bother thinking about whether the film was good, it just had to be his.
Oh, it's got one of them Pepsi cans now. That's very 80s, that. You'll pour a Pepsi in the background, just briefly in the background. But no, like, I think with Stallone and Schwarzenegger, I think they were really good friends, and like they tried to, like, people were thinking, oh, I can't wait for them to square off. But then Van Damme and Lundgren tried to fake it for, like, Universal Soldier, and, like, you know, when people see it, they're just like, oh, it's over. But, like, for years, obviously, Van Damme and Seagal, we've heard about it, but we've never actually seen the conflict. And that's like, but there's going to be no payoff between them two.
No, definitely not. And that's why I love the Escape Plan so much as well, because it was a decent film. And we finally got to see the lads square off.
It was. I really like Escape Plan. I haven't got myself around to watching the third one, because the second one I was just like, oh my god. Like, I was really a bit I was startled by the second one, mate.
Well, to be honest with you, this is the funny thing, because I think we spoke about the second one. Obviously, it was it didn't know what it wanted to be. I would go as far as say it's not a good film, but you can see where it could have had potential. But unfortunately, not that I think you shouldn't bother. But obviously, Stallone was very vocal about how he hated the way the second one went, and that the third one was going to be the making of it. It's going to be totally bringing it back to what it should be. And I think it fell, if not just as short as the second one. It was weird. I forget his name, but the kid from Final Destination, the main character.
Oh, Devon Sawa.
Yeah, he's the main villain, and I just thought, what an unusual choice to go with someone like that.
I like him. He's a great effect, actually. Sorry to cut you off about the film. This was a state of the art then.
Well, this is today, and it's not nearly as good as that, but we are essentially doing that now, aren't we?
But this is all in New Mexico. This was like the urban fallout. This was like there wasn't much to do to that facility except for what it was. So that was quite a lot there as well. The idea of Marcy again. It's foreshadowing it here as well.
Yeah.
But no, Devon Sawa, I thought he was going to be a big thing. I mean, he was in Idle Hands, which I think is brilliant, and then into Final Destination. But obviously, he's always going to be known for being Stan in the Eminem video.
That's true as well, yeah.
But he sort of he was a bit of a blip. He just blipped off a bit, really.
Yeah. What did I say? I mean, that was
dude.
Man 3. That was what, 2 years ago.
Oh, mate, do you know what? You know, yesterday on the podcast when we were talking about that guy, and I was like, you'll recognise him and everything now.
Yeah.
He's the guy who fucking runs off and gets his head blown off.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, no, wait, I'll point him out, right? But you are going to see this guy everywhere. Now, anyone at home watching this back, as we see, me, Carl and Paul Ray are in the middle of doing a fucking Police Academy marathon. We've done the first 3, and we were scheduled to do 4 and 5 tonight, but me and Carl are just doing Total Recall, because Paul's got the poops. He could have still joined the podcast, but I don't want someone to go, wow, this podcast was shit because someone's taking shit in the middle of it. You know what I mean? Because, and I'm glad you've chose Total Recall, and you really caught us off guard here, because I generally do listen to the comedy quite a lot. Again, this fucking taking advantage of brand new buildings that look futuristic, but
I mean, that picture quality is pretty nice. Like, it's bright, it's vibrant. And like I say, it does sell on the idea of how futuristic it is. But then you see the computers like that.
Yeah.
On the keyboard.
See, Recall's totally spelt differently as well.
Yeah.
Again, there's another little trick. Now, do you know that Minority Report is meant to be a sequel to this? The book originally is, anyway.
No, I don't, but you know what it is? Shockingly, I've never seen it.
I don't.
I tell a lie. I saw the first 15 minutes when I was in the room while it was being played, but I'm never getting around to watching it all the way through. Like,
I mean, don't get us wrong. I'm not the massive Tom Cruise fan, but I really like that movie because of Spielberg. You know, it's a sci-fi, but
yeah.
If you want it to be that mythology that it exists in the same universe, then don't cast Colin Farrell in the remake to this, because he's in Minority Report.
Did you actually watch the remake of this?
I've got the remake. I mean, when you first get it and you go, oh, it's a 12, you're like, what? And they do, I mean, it's a remake what tries to stay more original to the book. The whole idea of going to work from one side of the planet to the next, the escapism he's looking for, it not being Mars, it all being a more futuristic. I think Kate Beckinsale's amazing in it. The bit in that movie where she slides along the floor well, I'm just going to say it, fanny bags him, because it would say teabagging. And just the layout of their apartment, and she did that. I've rewound that scene a million times and think, oh my god, I would love to be that, because Kate Beckinsale is stunning. But like the film falls a bit short, and then it doesn't know what it wants to be, and then there's a girl antagonist, and you know, again, I haven't read the book, but it looked amazing. But I've got so much love for this.
Well, this is it. I mean, this is where it's hard to see past the nostalgia with this one. I think, like, as a kid, I mean, I it was everything that I loved. You know, it had sci-fi. It's got Arnie in, so you know you're in for an action film.
It's again at our age as well. It's one of the ones you can't watch because we're kids.
Yeah,
it's exactly. One everyone will be on about. Oh, have you seen Total Recall? No. His eyes pop out his head. What?
Yeah. So I should mention, because obviously this is, I hope, well, I mean, it looks like it's going to be my thing now, but so Carl's fact checking is clearly on high alert again, because it was Lena Headey, who was the woman in Judge Dredd, who I thought was Sharon Stone. So not a million miles off. Like, the woman looks similar to her, but yeah, a totally different woman.
A funky artwork behind him. I mean, look at that. He's got like a little extra sketch pen, digital signing. There was a video appeared on Facebook yesterday, and it was on about the Simpsons predicting loads of things and all that, and they think that the creator's a time traveling lord.
Yeah. No, I've seen a few of them. Like, I think someone did like a series of pictures that were all like kind of pinpointing different things that the Simpsons have done, and it is freaky. Like, can't deny it.
Given the whole sales speech.
Now, where would you go then?
Oh, millionaire playboy probably.
Yeah.
The idea of getting foobarred and like being all right the next day like appeals to me sometimes. Like, because this day and age, how old you are, you can't get that foobarred, or you're going to be like, oh, next day. Like, hangovers now, right, don't appear right till later on the next day, and then they last the whole next day. And I'm like, oh my god.
I've got to say, like, I've been blessed. I'm one who doesn't suffer hangovers as much. I find like if I drink really like crap lager, I will feel ill the next day. But then that's why I don't do it. I just stick to whiskey. I can drink whiskey all day long and wake up feeling just as fresh.
No, I'm not a whiskey drinker. Size of this machine. Now it's believable, like.
Yeah, I could say. I mean, like I say, it's not like crazy. Kind of trying to push the boundaries too much. You can see they're trying to like stay within.
So this is when, as soon as he gets injected, like, as well, because you see the lassie's meant to like in a minute, but as soon as he gets injected, that's when it actually all starts. If you listen to the commentary, and there's loads of imagery there about what he's going to see, like it's foreshadowing the alien side of it, the big generators and stuff.
Yeah. I forgot to mention before, actually, you mentioned him not being able to be RoboCop because of his size, but there was a conversation about him not getting this role because him looking too manly. I think the original character they had was like kind of more of an everyday kind of bloke, whereas you can see like he's a canny buff bloke, like, so it's kind of on the nose that he'd be perfect for an action star.
I just want to point out, we're not watching Running Man. Now the guy I was on about before who runs away and his head blows off, that's Running Man.
Is that Running Man in this?
It's just because that scene...
I mean, literally within what you've just said, he runs away.
Yeah, literally that scene when they're drilling and all that, it looks like Running Man.
Voluptuous.
I'm actually still waiting on my Running Man steelbook coming. It's only been a week and a half.
I'm not going to say I've been... I think I was looking at your desk, still I've noted it, but there's the ordinary one, and then there's the one that comes with all the knickknacks, isn't it?
Ah, and it's only a couple of quid extra.
Yeah, it's not that much different.
The only reason I've dipped on that is because it's got 2 brand new comedy tracks, which I've got really interested. I've already done a podcast for Running Man, but obviously once I absorb them, I'll be willing to visit Running Man with you, you know what I mean, on the commentary tracks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is it, because I mean, commentary, that's what is good about commentary. I think you can watch a film 100 times, but when you're watching it along with the people who made it, it can give you a completely fresh perspective on how a scene plays out or how the story was driven. That's a really nice shot, you know, errors of like the Jaws, when he realises on the beach that like zoom focus pulling back at the same time, that kind of almost, you know, it's pulling you into it. But obviously this is all meant to be now the actual the dream. Yeah. I mean, what kind of dream? Well, you see, technically, can it be though? I mean, why would this be the dream? Why would this part be in his head?
Well, this is the audience side. This is where it gets a bit twisty.
Yeah.
You blew my cover! Ah! And fucking crackers.
I mean, that bass, I mean, that's just standard Arnie bass, isn't it?
Riles himself up a bit for that, like.
Oh,
Wasn't Quaid the idea of Holly on Red Dwarf when he starts winding all the crew up when he was just getting them to do all the chores and that? My name is Quake.
yeah.
Knocked him out. Dumped him in the Johnny cabinet.
Yep. Oh, I love the world as well. I think you could do a lot with this world. You know, like that whole gritty down in the slums and stuff like that you see later on.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's so many great characters there that there could be. I mean, I don't want to be cliche and say, oh, they should totally do a series, but in the world that we live in now, like maybe make it like a 6-parter.
Well, that's
on
it.
Netflix or something like that.
It's like people go, oh, right, the next sequel, and like if people will go to see Total Recall 2, especially say mid-90s, and it wasn't Schwarzenegger, right? And it wasn't a dream, and someone was just generally had a love to like expand on the universe, they wouldn't have it. They'd be like, oh, Schwarzenegger's not in it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like when he wasn't in Predator 2, and like again with the Predator commentaries, they're really good because the two writers are like, right, Schwarzenegger's not coming back. He was meant to come back, and then they're like, he's not coming back, and then it's like, right, well, what we're going to do? And it's like, well, again, it's the Predator, but again, I think the Predator's mystique has been lost over the years, especially, I mean, we should have done the Predator 4 commentary tonight, you know what I mean, but hey ho.
But you know, I don't own it. Honestly, I was going to get the steelbook and everything, but I don't own that film. I never got around to it. It's just one of those, it's a strange film, because honestly, I wouldn't go as far as say I dislike it. I think there's a lot wrong with it, but it's an attempt, which, to be honest with you, anything for me beats Alien vs Predator 2. I just figured that's the film that I think of when I think of how crazy they went and how they got it so wrong, in my opinion, anyway. But when I watched the new Predator, I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's obviously parts at the end that we both agreed on who should have appeared, and I think like some of the characters worked really well, some of them didn't. I think it was just like, I don't know, it was strange because obviously you've got the original director back, and it didn't feel like his work. I don't know if he was influenced or whether he just wanted to go outside the box too far, but no.
I see the guy from Die Hard 2 that gives them a ticket. Merry Christmas.
I think so, but funny enough, I only really remember him. He actually plays Joey Tribbiani's dad in Friends.
Aye, he does, aye. Totally sounds like Danny DeVito as well there. You blab queen.
Totally. Now there's a film we should do. Twins.
I don't own twins.
Do you not?
I've been praying for triplets for years with Eddie Murphy in it, but...
Yeah. Well, now more than ever, given his potential comeback.
Oh, now there's a good backhand. That was a great sell by the extra, that.
Yeah.
Fucking chopped him right in the fucking mush. Again, though, like going to Schwarzenegger there, he's powerful, and I think this fight scene's really good for him. Because, you know what I mean, breaking physical necks, like mid to little counters, no kicks needed, backhanders, you know what I mean? But when you get to a Razor and you see him do a roundhouse kick, you're like, what?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, they're not trying to make him think that he's actually like martial artist or anything like that. Like you say, he's powerful. He's essentially just hulking out. He's just using his strength against him, and I think that really works as well.
We're not too far off this, I don't think. Especially.
I would say this is going to be the new Wii, isn't it?
Again, though, adding that effect at the time and making it so it's not properly right, you know what I mean? It's kind of... It works for that era.
Yeah. brilliant woman, that, like.
Sharon Stone, yeah. Have you seen a film called Slither before?
Slither?
Not the horror film.
No, I was about to say I'm thinking I was about to say the horror film, but no.
It's the film when William Baldwin and her, and it's like this apartment block. And the owner of the building literally has cameras in every room and is obsessed with watching people in real life. And she moves into the apartment. And the owner becomes obsessed with her and stuff. It's I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but it's one of those films, I think, like, it gets overshadowed by stuff like Basic Instinct and stuff, but it's a mint film, like.
Alright. Trying to think of what I was recommended the other day. It's a series, but it's not quite what you just described there, but in a sense, let me see, The Outsider, I think it's called. It's basically like a young lad who plays like a receptionist in a motel sort of thing, but he's got like kind of what's the word? He's got like a I'm drawing a blank. Like, you can't socialise.
Alright.
You can't interact with people very well. So what he does is he watches people on all the cameras. So he's got cameras in all the rooms and he's watching them. And so like he'll play a role in his head, what he sees, and then he'll try it with other people. It's really weird, but I think like something about like it's supposed to be like a murder where like he's maybe the suspect, and it sounds really interesting. I've never heard of it, but a mate of mine recommended it.
Oh, cool.
I think it's this year as well. It's quite a new film. I like that sort of thing. There was a Chris Hemsworth one, which again I'm going to be shocked because I'm totally something Spanish. It was it's very Tarantino.
Oh, the one in the hotel El Sino Royale or something.
It's similar, yeah, because it's something like that. I might have to.
It's not Hotel Royal, Hotel E Royal or something.
Hotel, it could be Hotel Royal. It's amazing, mate. It's like it went so under the radar, and I think it's such a testament to Chris Hemsworth because he plays a very unusual type of character. Nothing that you'd expect him to do.
There you go, her spilling the beans.
And she does a really good job in this. I think with I won't go by and not mention that she plays a good action, star as far as that fight scene there. She does hold her own.
Spilling the beans. Yeah, I'm extracting the audio from the podcast from Police Academy 2. She gets shot in the head later on, didn't she? Like point blank, bang.
Yeah. Again, that's something that I'm not afraid to do. In this sort of era of film, I always feel like the kind of not bold enough to go there with a lot of like main characters or well-known faces.
Lobby, clever girl.
Bad Time at the Royale. That's a pretty film. Definitely a recommendation.
I think I started watching that. Does it not start off with like a hotel room and keeps pulling back?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've seen it all. I think I put it on one night and fell asleep.
Yeah.
Now check them out. Look at them. Look at that for handrails.
like the girders.
Fucking steel girders and that.
Hey, this is the Metro Centre in the future, man.
Hey God, that's what. Honest to God, like the last couple of years since the new company took over, and they've been going round and painting it military grey, and it's just like someone posted a flashback to the Metro Centre on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I started watching it, and at first I was like, all right, yeah, it's good. And then I realised it was one guy just filming his wife, but then you don't really know, and he must be just standing there with a shoulder-mounted camera back in the late 80s, just filming all these shops. But like when you see, like, they used to have plant pots, and obviously Metroland, when you've got the dinosaurs flying out the walls and shit, and now you go in with just bland, basic, fucking grey.
Well, it's funny because it's got like very Americana, definitely like very much like a mall, very grey, very basic, like you say. But it'll be interesting though, because apparently they're really struggling, aren't they?
Yeah, they were before this happened.
Yeah, that's why I think it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Michael Ironside, in Watchers, he's in Highlander 2. Can never really pay, like, he's a great bad guy. He was meant to be RoboCop, actually. He was one of the original.
I was going to mention that he was connected to RoboCop, wasn't he?
But again, it's just kind of like, he hasn't, like, obviously got the look for, like, a lead action star, but he's a great villain.
He'll always be a villain in my eyes, definitely. I've never really, he's got like that face you just don't trust it.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely not. Yeah, but definitely not Schwarzenegger, that though. Even the sound effect of whom. But no, Michael Ironside, I mean, he's been on a lot of stuff, like, but he's great as a villain.
Yeah.
Obviously, another Paul Verhoeven film, Starship Troopers. He's in that. He's the guy with one arm, isn't he?
That's it. I'm just sitting there trying to think of what that image of him being in the army or something. Now that's interesting. I do feel like I want to go back and try and watch them. First one, I absolutely love the first Starship Troopers, but obviously it gets a little bit more B-movie in the sequels.
This is brutal, this, by the way, when they fucking just annihilate a fucking random passenger. I mean, this guy here, it's just...
Oh, I mean, the effects on that, though, like, body parts just flaking up.
Fucking unbelievable, that. Again, like, I mean, Studio Canal, I mean, like, I wish they would just bring this, like, this out as a special edition with some bits and bobs, like, because stuff like this needs, like, to have, like, this marketing, you know what I mean?
I feel like it is that time, like, isn't it?
But
like,
even
where
standing on the fucking... You know what, it'd be fair enough if you, like, standing on a body like that and it's a squish.
Well, it's the one where just before he jumped off the escalator, he chucks a body at them. It's like the crowd surfing with a dead body. It's just like, I mean, imagine just being like a standby for that.
Fairly took that window out with one blow, like, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's such a great villain, like.
But he's still quite active though, isn't he? He's still working quite a lot. Ironside.
Oh, yeah. Obviously bringing in the moon. It just fades to the moon here, doesn't it? It doesn't... we don't get a fucking... No, we do. Like, he's hitting that he's got to go at the moon.
Yeah.
Fucking sarcastic bastard. There's Ronnie Cox back.
Yep.
I need to find out what that film was I seen him in. I was like, oh, there's Ronnie Cox. And then he was never in the rest of the fucking movie.
I mean, we're talking about like this era, or...
I think it was more recent. I don't know, it might have been a fucking quirky one. I'll have a look while it's on there.
Yeah.
That old chestnut there. Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I have used that one too many times for me. Quote unquote hearing aids run out.
Oh mate, honestly,
Sorry,
Casper and his whole family were biking through concert today, and I literally had no reception when I was walking around the garden, and I didn't even get his message.
Right.
And I was just like, oh man, it would have been fucking awesome to see like Jensen and Kaylee and obviously Swan and stuff. Because I had no idea they were going to be up in that night. But obviously in the garden, I would listen to a few podcasts, and then I was like, obviously moving around because I don't like my phone to be anywhere I might drop a brick or something on it, because obviously I've got a lot of work going on. And I totally missed it.
It always makes me laugh, you know, because I forget like how they may not remember me as much, because when they come into Beamish, I think the last time they came like flying in the shop, I was like, oh, what you two doing here? And I kind of almost looked at it and said, oh shit, does he know us? And I was like, where's your dad at? He's like, oh yeah, he's just outside talking. I was like, alright, sounds about right. So when you think about everyone who's on a TV screen in this film, they're right up close, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, he's still talking on the phone. I think they should have got away with that, because Arnold Schwarzenegger's not on the phone.
Yeah, yeah. See, this is another image I'll never get out of my head.
That's it there. That's it there, bud.
Wearing it.
Oh, the turban head. Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea, was it?
Yeah, he's basically when she gets called to the office at the start of the movie, when Sam Jackson's standing by, and he's the guy sitting behind the board, and he literally was fucking hell. But obviously he's not in the rest of the movie, But he's obviously the chief commander in Beverly Hills Cop.
Right.
He's in Beverly Hills Cop 2 as well, because he's the one who gets shot at the start of the movie when he's out jogging.
Yeah. I mean, that woman just like, I'm nicking the suitcase.
Dude, have you seen that video that's been going around recently about that woman when she was like shouting at that guy in the supermarket? I'm here to help you, motherfucker. And she just goes fucking nuts. And he's like, can you just get away from me? Oh man, I've seen it twice now, and I'm like, Jesus. I was like the woman who tried to do a run-up from the guy in Texas, and she was like, she refused to take an 80 quid fine, right? And he was like, well, you're under arrest now. You know what I mean? And she tried to drive off, so his siren opened the car door and was like, get out the car, and he fucking tases her twice before she calms down. And I was like,
I think I've seen that one, yeah.
Like, some people just
but because she just like casually decide to drive away. It's not even like she's like does a massive run at. It's just like, no, I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna drive.
Now this is coming still in an era that, I mean, this is borrowed a lot from Blade Runner and stuff like that on this, I think.
Well, listen, I mean, I was talking about this being a series. Did you ever get around to watching any of the series Altered Carbon?
No, I haven't, no.
I think you'd get, if you like Blade Runner and you like this, I think you'll really like that. It's a short Netflix series. Joe Kenner is the main guy. I don't know if you know that name.
I know, isn't in the sequel, the second series, isn't it? Yeah,
that is Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
He did alright in the second season, but Joe Kenner is definitely by far the better character for that role. But yeah, it's just like, how sinister does that look, man? It's definitely something that you should invest in. Like, it's such a good story, looks absolutely stunning. And it's just like a blend of this and Blade Runner.
Dude, I've just absolutely fucking shit myself, right? There's just been a noise behind us and its fucking splinters just fell over.
Your necker?
Aye.
You've got a tendency to fall over, like.
But like, slowly...
Ironically, in this scene with all the rats.
Oh, well, I just slowly and creepy. I was like, what the fuck's that? Check that money out.
Monopoly money.
Right, you're about to hear me, strange enough, I feel like I'm just looking at myself because I'm wearing the same stuff. That's a bit scary. You're going to hear my voice for a second.
Yeah.
I'm telling everyone on the podcast as well.
I think so.
I can hear.
What are you watching this one in, Paul? Swedish? Dutch?
Is it the third one, yeah?
Oh,
Yeah.
a cameo by Paul Ray.
Just stream it on your phone, HD.
Excellent.
Right, I could use it.
Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason, and welcome back to the Police Academy series.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just setting the start and end of them. So yeah, Paul Ray gets a cameo. Again, I like that hologram effect there.
Yeah, definitely. I could say it. That one particularly when he's quite clean imagery.
I love it how his fucking face is massive straight away. And you gotta hear us saying goodbye.
Aye, on there, but still, Flight the Navigator was an ensemble cast. I mean, I know the guy from number 2 went in to be on it, but it wasn't a major star leading it to get the butts in the seats kind of thing.
So I do apologise about this, but this is called multitasking.
Well, that was Police Academy 3, back in Trin.
That was our last podcast.
4 and
It
5.
was.
And then we're going to have 6 and 7. I think that's where everyone's going to lose their minds a little bit. Paul Ray will be back with his movie facts. Carl will be back with his facts that we have to back check and track. Well, thanks for listening. Goodbye for now.
I can't even argue, you know what I mean?
It's forcing you dropping the shit word. No shit.
No. And I love how like nobody cared that this guy is probably the more Mr. America when it comes to action film. Yet nobody, you know, in this day and age, you can imagine people online going, "This is ridiculous. They should cast an American to do this role." And like, this is where like you just didn't give a shit. You just bought into the character, and that's it.
There's been a few people the last couple of years like try to go, I'm the strongest man of that year, then try and get a role in a movie.
Yeah.
This scene right now. Now Roboteen's been retired for a long time, like. He must have made some money, like.
Sting and a half, that like.
It's like when you pull out that nose hair, it's been there for ages, and you go up there with some tweezers.
Yeah.
Oh, it's when it starts to glow.
Yeah. And that's a complete mannequin as well, you know what I mean? I think that's really, really well done when they do it like that.
It's fucking class, that. It's absolutely class. I mean, I don't want to know how they got that up there in the first place. I mean, you would feel that, wouldn't you? The top of your nose behind your eye, you'd be like, someone not right there, like.
I'm going to say biology does not favour that location, like.
I love it when the screenshot and see "Get your ass to Mars, get your ass to Mars," and it fades to black, and it's just like, right, he's gone to Mars, right, we better get to Mars. And here they come. Very Robocop-y that, and obviously, again, if you look at films that era as well, Running Man, them kind of urban, Fallout, industrial, like half-built. It could even be a building in progress, you know what I mean? But a lot of the times, like stuff like Darkman and that, where big industrial factories that have been shut down and just left derelict.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this always reminds me of the scene with RoboCop when he's like, after it's all like all the action at the beginning, and then he's just shooting cans and that.
I love it how like this rat's fucking zooming. Once or twice would have been enough there, but not one load of full clips. And the poor rat. Which clearly hasn't got, it wouldn't have been able to swallow that.
And there's no way that amount of blood's gonna like splatter from the floor up there.
But so there's sort of like, you know, there's no him trying, oh no. So we get the spaceship, again that looks pretty cool for when it was made.
That looks really clean, that way. Definitely CGI, but for the type of thing.
I don't think that's CGI. I think the fire's CGI, but I think it's just a composite. I mean, even the people in the foreground working on the little solar panels, man. It's a great composite shot, that, mine.
Detail.
Oh, this is me trying to get through New Zealand customs. Check that guy out taking a massive picture of his wife. I mean, you imagine that at customs, what you take a picture for. I love it how he took the briefcase.
Yeah.
Now this does have a little cameo in the new one when you hear someone say 2 weeks as a nod to the head.
Yeah.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Now, what I like about this is, again, it was about the detail. Like, all these guards are actually American soldiers.
No, that's wait, you can't fake a soldier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's discipline in there that I think goes beyond methodic acting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was. It's either like it's totally not convincing because they're not doing it like well enough, or you'll get the ones who just do it really too much, like the proper hammered up. It's just like, yeah.
Because in Aliens, obviously, because Hicks, Michael Biehn, he replaces an actor, so he didn't go through all the boot camp training they did back in the day. So when he comes in, everyone else has been in military training for weeks, and I think that plays off well for Hicks, though, because he's got that laid back, and like, you know what I mean. But you can kind of, if you look how glued Rodriguez and Drake are and stuff, they're well into it.
Oh yeah, they're well in the headspace.
Especially for years, like the lass who plays Rodriguez and that, Vasquez, sorry. She's in absolutely loads, but like she's almost unrecognisable because like fucking hell, it's her from Aliens. Now here's another great effect.
Such a distinguished look, didn't she?
Yeah. Well, again, for the time, Michelle Rodriguez is kind of that kind of same, like, you know, like, I'm not going to take any shit because I'm a woman kind of attitude, and that's, you know what I mean? It's quite good when they come across like that. Now, work this out, right? How does this tube come out of the side of her head? Now, look how big it is. Where's his head in that? Now, I would have lined his jaw up a little bit better for that effect, and it would look amazing.
Yeah. Question is, how many of those Arnie heads are knocking around in Hollywood these days?
Oh, I don't know, but after our podcast about the Turtles, when one of you guys was on about buying animatronic of Donatello and Thingy's head, there was actually a picture on Google of it all decayed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I was looking for some artwork for the new.
You mentioned that, didn't you? You said it would have been knackered by now.
Well, the latex man will just fucking come to the elements, really, but it popped up when I was looking for it was probably when I was looking for Turtles in Time artwork.
Yeah. Well, it's like I was watching on Disney Plus the Prop Culture series. So like every episode they go into a different film, and one of the ones they did was Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right.
And the guy who originally voiced Jack Skellington had an original Jack Skellington model in his house, completely glass case and everything, but even then literally has to touch it up every couple of years. And there was not just him, there was other people who got original props and that, and they said you just can't, like, it just doesn't survive. It started to melt, or the clothes started to decay really easily. So things like that, just, I mean, in theory, they just aren't designed to survive this long.
No, a shot. Even the train, miniature work, yeah.
Well, I should mention that this did get an Oscar, though, didn't it, for visual effects?
Might do, but they didn't put it on the box. Schwarzenegger.
No, they didn't. He's a face that who pops up every now and again.
Yeah, normally like a trucker kind of dude.
Aye.
I like the box Schwarzenegger, his face, Total Recall, and then on the Blu-ray I've got it's like a Red Rock Mountain. But look at that shot there, that miniature work, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. And then you go into the colony.
But again, like,
stunning, that, like.
it is. But like again, though, this would have been mastered in sort of the likes of Alien and Aliens. But then to hit it in red, it's kind of like, whoa, you can see more, because obviously you hide a lot more with shadows, and that's been very bold not to hide it with shadows.
Well, this is what I was just about to say. When I looked at that, I thought, this is what we need for an Alien film. If we do another Alien film, I wanna be able to like see like how vast the planet is. Whereas Alien, don't get me wrong, I would never sort of say they didn't do it right, but they did focus on the idea being it's not what you see. With Aliens, it's about making your mind think, is it there? Isn't it? All the shadows play a massive part in it, whereas I love the idea of having like a massive red planet like this and just having it where we have to get from one base to another, and it's just scurried with xenomorphs. I'd buy into that every day of the week.
But people like, say for example, that's a good idea for a premise of a movie and all that, but like people aren't like, they want more, and like when you start putting backstories and like spin-offs and other ideas, and then you cater to actors and stuff like that, your original idea becomes a fucking 15-minute plot in the middle of the movie.
True.
What's he going? Oh, he's going to feed his goldfish. Them ones are definitely alive, unlike the Police Academy ones. I mean, artwork, very sterile. I mean, to be honest with you, he must be a big player to have a size room that big in fucking Mars.
True.
He's a great authority figure, that Ronny Cox. Like,
I've got to say that's the role he kind of works well within it. Now this is where the film gets interesting for me. I think when I was younger watching this, I always just thought this is where I kind of remember it most.
Yeah.
And it's just the whole world around it. It's just so weird.
It's a bit like that Rage game I played a few years ago and all that. You know, and that's quite a good game. And you're going in, and you got these colonies, and in fact that it's not new and it's not fresh. It's sort of like, you know what I mean? It's like it's been established for years, and you've got mutants, and it's wet, weathered. But like mutants are acceptable and stuff like that. You know what I mean? People are aware of them.
Yeah.
Authorization card.
And of course, it has to be the Hilton.
Safety deposit box. For how futuristic the thumbnail is, it's very basic, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That, you know, the other night when I was talking about my telly remote and the 80s coming out the telly, that was what it was like.
Yeah.
It's not really a thing up. I mean, I've never walked into the bank where can have a safety deposit box. It doesn't look like it's something that's very popular, big over here.
Nah, I think, I think the reality is, mate, you've got to have really important shit if you want a safety deposit box. I reckon it's not something that they advertise. It's more something that if you're in need of it, that's when you talk about it.
Yeah.
It's not like an advertisement thing. It's not like this is where we store all our really valuable items and stuff like that.
See again though, like the whole idea that the two taxi drivers are fighting over the fare.
Yeah.
Oh, what a stunt
It's a
that
good
was.
action team. Yeah.
Diving off into a fucking oil barrel like that head first.
Well, this set was also notorious for injuries, apparently. I remember reading that. Apparently it wasn't just all like this sort of injury, but like apparently there was people getting sick on set. There was people injuring themselves on set.
It was Hellboy 2 that got a lot of grief for painting them with they painted some of the set with this vibrant red that actually, you know, I think it caused cancer because of how much was in it, and they had to ventilise the set or something.
I wouldn't be surprised. Probably be arsenic.
Again, going back to what we were talking about the other day, when you have sets like this and you hire professional extras and you pay that bit more, because like professional extras know what the crack is, they know what hot set mean, they know what people's markers are, and you know, just little markers on the floor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you start just hiring every Joe, oh, do you want to be in the movie? You got to stand around all day. They're going to be curious. They're going to be like, oh, what's that button do? Zap, you're dead. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of stuff going on, but like that is one of the things I think, mate.
Yeah.
Some creepy fucking people in this mind.
Because there's some really nice makeup artists like going on. But that's it, because if you don't get anybody to come and do stuff like that, it sounds daft, but it is probably the hardest thing in that kind of environment when someone says, do not look at the camera, and then that's it, you know, you're going to find that there's always going to be someone look directly at the camera and stuff like that, so I think you do need people who are a little bit more clued up.
These 5 kids to feed. Right, it's got a strip joint. But again, when you like as a kid, you would see images of this and like Fangoli and all that. There was massive hype behind this, video games and all that, and
yeah, this is nearly time for 3 boobies, isn't it?
with the 3 tits. Again, this was, she looks like Pam Gay, doesn't she?
Now that you mention it.
Oh, and there she is. From there is sleazy. Still carrying the 80s funk, like, innit? The neon and stuff we're talking about.
Yeah.
He's been in quite a lot of films.
I was going to say, you've got that face, haven't you? I love the makeup in this, like, just prosthetics and that. But Tom Savini style.
Well, it is Rob Bottin, that one, like.
Yeah.
The master of the fucking thing. What have you been feeding this? Lawns. God. Who's he? I want to Google him, man. The back of his head looks so fucking sore. Oh. There's a midget. What?
Can you see that?
What?
Little people.
Right, okay, little people. Have you listened to the Ghostbusters 2 one? When the guy appears in the courtroom then disappears?
Nah, but I remember you mentioned it on the podcast. Quite funny.
I love how much, like, you know, it's a strip joint and all that, and how much privacy that has with holes punctured in metal. Do you know what I mean?
You just mentioned that, and I was literally looking at it, thinking, that can't give you much privacy, can it? I mean, the ceiling got holes, the walls have got holes.
Now, what was the guy called?
Which guy?
The guy with half the face.
You didn't say it. When you mentioned Googling him, I thought, good on you, because like you say, you didn't actually establish him as a character.
No, I think that's him there.
You do realise I can't see that.
Well, yeah. Dean Norris. think it is.
Uh,
Yeah, it is him. Yeah, it's Dean Norris. Obviously he's in Breaking Bad and Under the Dome and all that. He's been in a lot of movies, 174 movies, so he's went on to have quite a good acting career, like.
he seemed taller. Dean Norris, well, I suppose it's maybe his stature these days being a bit more heavy. But he must be quite a slim lad, like.
So in the obviously the remake, there's two girls. There's a baddie girl and it's Jessica Biel and Kate Beckinsale.
Right.
And then this is just
Yeah, I just did not get around to watching that. I think it did get a lot of bad press, and like I said, there was just too much of it being, taking its own liberties, which obviously going back to the book more than taking liberties, but still.
free boobs again. She either looks like that or she looks like Jet the Gladiator.
Ah, good old Jet. Saturday night telly, that man.
Yeah, he's been in quite a few films. It's quite light in that nightclub, isn't it, really?
Well, that's it. It didn't feel like a strip club to me. I think as a kid or as someone who's particularly younger than watching this now, it always felt to me like it was just like a kind of bar. Didn't really kind of strike me as a strip club. It just felt like everybody was horny.
Who are you? Right, what was he in the other day? There he is. He was in another podcast we did the other day. Was it Tango and Cash?
Yeah, well, strikes me as a logical one to put him in.
It was one with Paul Ray.
Yeah.
Because Paul Ray was on about him being an arachnophobia as well, so it must have been Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
That's another 80s thing, them muzzles on the end of the guns. That was a very 80s thing.
Yeah, fire suppressor, yeah. You don't really get them on handguns, so that's unusual, unless they wanted to make it a little bit more futuristic.
When you look at the back end of that
more
gun,
like on a rifle.
but look at the back end of that gun. Well, that's quite extended barrel, back barrel, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. I suppose that was quite the norm, though, wasn't it? It was like taking something that was a normal everyday thing and then just adding random stuff to it.
I love it though, like, you know what I mean? I know it's all set in the future and all that, but at the end of the day, you know what to solve that problem? No guns on Mars at all.
Yeah.
So he's just walking around with a gun like, who are you? Just fucking got there. So
Secret agent, man.
well, this is almost like a kind of like to mislead an audience here. Is he all in the head and all that kinds of stuff? And you know, it's kind of
Yeah, I'm going to say it is starting to like play on that, isn't it? Starting to get the audience to second guess himself.
I love it how he's got red glow there, but then when it cuts back to him, he has red glow in the back of his head, but not now. There.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yes, we're being picky, people. Oh, he's his wife.
Or is it?
Do they both get shot here?
It is her time, but I can't remember him. Yeah, he's gonna get shot. Look at him. That's marriage for you, mate.
Oi. Bullshit. I mean, if they're not really there, you just give them a backhand, see if it goes through them.
Yeah. That's why.
Oh, dude, look in the reflection. Oh, I missed it. In the reflection of the glass doors near the window, you can see the lighting rig.
Classic.
That's a loud dog. It's not going to show that. Something. No, there's no dogs around here. Again, it's a bit of a long scene here in the middle, but it's obviously... Oh, there you go, take the red pill.
Yeah, I could see the red pill. But no, I think you needed a scene if you wanted to play on this idea.
Well,
because it's such a fast-paced action film, they needed to kind of get the detail in there.
Well, again, going back to the whole thing, and obviously, like, is this real? Is the doctor and his wife trying to get him out of it because does he get lobotomized at the end? Is he brain dead, or was it a recall trip, or was it real life? It's kind of like, again, we're still talking about this now, and of all documentaries and all that. But again, it's like with Blade Runner. For years, people were on about, is Harrison Ford a replicant? Is he? Is he not? And then obviously when they've made the new one, all that mythology is now gone because he's not. Do you know what I mean? But for years, everyone was just like, nah, but look at that little clue there, and then this little clue, and then no matter what ending you've seen, and...
Well, that's it. I think that's like kind of a good sign of storytelling. It's like, I'm not a big fan of this whole let the audience decide with a lot of like certain endings, because I feel like sometimes it feels more lazy. But especially when it comes to films like this, or like you say, Blade Runner, it just works really well in the sense of like it adds to the characters. Like you change your perspective on this. All these people right now.
Oh,
nice shots. Oh.
Again, going back to a more recent film, have you seen The Grey with Liam Neeson?
Yes.
Like at the end of that movie, it stops and everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck happened?" But like, it can leave you to decide like who wins. But like, if you stick around for the long credits on a movie that you wouldn't expect to have a hidden ending, you get a hidden ending and you see them both die. The wolf and him died lying next to each other. But unless you watch that, you're not going to get that. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I think we are well into our film here. I mean, you're sitting there pointing out like camera rigs, which I reckon 85% of film viewers won't even pick up on that sort of stuff. So like people, I mean, there's still people in this day and age who go and see a Marvel film and not stick around to the end. Even though they probably know fine well there's going to be a scene, some people just think, no, that's a film done, I'm finished.
I mean, at the end of the day now, though, like, people, like, it gets viewed that many times before the recent test audiences, and, like, you know what I mean, people go and see the camera rig there, and they'll just come paint over it. Do you know what I mean? Now,
yeah.
I mean, I remember on the tournament, and one of the cameras was well up on the roof, and I'd said, you're not going to see it from that angle, and we'll get, we'll just paint it out. Like, so, like, don't worry about camera angles, but, like, again, like, if you can, like, even when I did the review, and I was like, well, I don't want you to see the second camera on that angle, and it's quite hard to hide that angle. That's why it's quite a obscure low angle anyway, but...
Yeah.
Look at the blood squirt. I mean, you can't beat good old-fashioned 80s squirting.
Well, I mean, that's it. This style here is either this film or RoboCop for me. Whenever I see a modern-day film now and you see someone get blasted down by a machine gun, and there's pretty much a couple of pinholes in a jacket, and I just sit there and think, see, in the 80s they didn't hold back at all. See this the choreographic in this fight here, there's still like a lot more work goes into it, I think, in this day and age, in like this sort of film in this early days.
Fuck you, oosh. Bang. Oh, she's got an evil stare. Consider this a divorce. I mean, she didn't do that very subtly looking for the gun, did she? Should have given her another kick. She's about smirking there, on the elevator.
Yeah, a little bit.
A lot of blood, little trickles on the wall. Look at his eyes with the back of his head. Whoop, the fuck? Oh, but he's missed, obviously, his main squeeze, really dead as well.
Yeah, with his eye. Yeah. And that's something that you don't often see either, like when you have like bad guys who like
Show affection for the fallen.
yeah, yeah.
This bit's a bit weird. I mean, would you really just jump off there and grab and monkey bar swing your way down?
Mate, I barely can hold my own weight. But then again, I always laugh at this sort of film. I just think, if this is me, I'm dead in like the first 10 minutes. Sometimes when you say action films, and like even if they're like supposed to be everyday people who do like, I'm gonna hang on to this bar while something's happening, or you know, it's just like, nope, I could not do that.
Pink.
So he's lost it now, though, hasn't he? That's like a good like kind of character development there. He just like doesn't care.
God, he needed to look right in the lens there, that guy.
He's a strange-looking villain, that guy, isn't he? It's like, I don't want to say he should be along behind the computer.
Well, normally
like,
he would probably.
As far as
He's quite sarcastic in a way, but like he's very smart in a role that would normally be hired muscle. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, that's what I mean. It's just like it's an unusual choice to have someone. Because normally there'd be like that one guy, which is going to be like Michael Ironhand here, and then there'll be a bunch of henchmen, whereas they're sharing the role a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, right, in the future, and they're on Mars, them windows should be unbreakable.
Yeah. But that's strange, because that must have been like kind of a... I don't know, that must have been a unique type of glass to break there, though, because like all the other glass is like broken into like tiny little white shards. Whereas when he was elbowing the window there,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
almost like it was still wobbling and hanging on. It's like,
Again, you get like, oh, they get on Mars, you don't expect them to have a chase, but like, considering like it's already been set up that there's not many taxi drivers around, people not really in a hurry to go anywhere, gives them the opportunity to actually do a like race.
yeah.
Good old fashioned go through every wall before they stop. And through adult movies as well, like Jesus.
It's when you break down a wall and you think, fine, yes, you just drove through a wall, but then you sit there and think, how was that wall ever holding anything up?
Again, this goes back to the extras and all this, because this would have been a built set, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that sounds stupid to say, given all the prosthetics on his face. That does not look like him, like... Look at his name now, who you mentioned before.
Oh, I've clicked off
From
him as
Breaking
well.
Bad.
Dean Norris.
Dean Norris,
Tony.
does not look like him, no. I love that, like, how everyone's just, like, in modes, like, quickly put the table there, block it off. Like, not to bother.
Did you see that thing about like again? We're talking about like videos like this. Apparently, lockdown or lockout was trending on Netflix because of its name, and it's like fucking a terrible fucking movie. Guy Pearce one in space.
Lockout. I don't think I've seen that one, no.
It's trending. The unrated sci-fi thriller that's crushing it on Netflix. I remember seeing that movie and seeing the special effects and going, oh my god. I mean,
Right.
I mean, he's dead off there, stabbed in the chest. I mean, again, the henchman's killed off by a girl who's like, you're like, come on, let me look at her, go girl, like fucking on the fucking counter with fucking Uzi.
Yeah.
Great stunt.
Of course, I wouldn't mind doing something like that just to see what it's like.
Again, it has to be sugar-free glass, like.
Yeah.
I mean, I once know a lad who
Sugar-free glass.
was sugar glass.
I mean, just sugar glass. Yeah.
I remember there was a lad I once knew, and he'd fucking fell through a shop. He had to go to hospital for multiple stitches, but he just tripped over and bumped into somebody and went through a fucking shop window.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's called Last
Well,
Resort.
one of the weird events of my life was now this is going to sound like I'm a proper ghetto kid, right? But there was down a place called Ewhurst, where close to where I live, and we used to just sit. It was like a building site, and it was just used to climb on shit and mess around. And this little kid out of nowhere, I'm sitting minding my own business, and a little kid just come behind her and whacks a milk bottle off the back of my head. And I swear to God, that was not sugar glass. It was knocked me. My head went bright orange for weeks.
It's fucking insane, like.
Oh, the ear's been cut out.
I've seen a few people glassed in pubs and all that, and it's like, wow, what kind of fucking rage have you got to be doing, like?
Yeah. Now, I did think about before, I didn't mention when they did the car chase. See, I tell you what I thought worked well. It does not get a lot of love, but that Ad Astra, Brad Pitt film.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
They did, in my opinion, they did a really good job of doing what was like a kind of it was basically like a space buggy, and it was like a proper, like, intense chase, because they have to get, like, from A to B, but they know if they do it, like, slowly and quietly, they'll go, like, undetected, but, like, they get about halfway, and then obviously all of a sudden, from both sides, you just start to see the cars coming through, and it's such a good little chase scene. They didn't film. I get why. I mean, it's a very dry kind of, somewhat, I don't want to say dull because it's a good film, but it's kind of very slow paced, and I can get why people don't get into it, but I think it's brilliant.
Let's go back to Sharon Stone for a second there. Like, I was just having a quick peek. That mid-90s, obviously, she was also in The Quick and the Dead and Casino.
She was in Casino, was she?
Yeah,
of course she was, yeah.
So she obviously got to work with Scorsese, had a little, like, so her being in the lead role in The Quick and the Dead as well, she was like the shit in the 90s. Obviously was in Sphere. She did a lot of videos. Sphere, but then really started to like wind down, I think, near the end of the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, really went off the grid for a while. Like Alpha Dog, there was a good film as well.
Yeah. Was that oh, that's not a thing, is it? Justin Timberlake.
Aye. Aye.
Yeah. Aye. See, have you ever seen is it Justin Timberlake film? Something Time.
Oh, In Time, Out of Time.
In Time.
Yeah.
Now that is such an underrated film. I love that film. I didn't watch it when it first came out. Took a long time to finally sit and watch it, but the premise of it, I mean, the film's not perfect. It definitely could do with a bit of cleanup, but the actual premise of it, and even giving Timberlake some credit, he did a really good job.
Now the guy who's playing the lead rebel hunter here, is he not? He's in Starship Troopers. Is he not the one hiding in the cupboard? When the base gets under attack, he's not hiding in the cupboard. I'll have a look.
Now I was always taken quite surprised by the taxi driver doing the whole turn. I mean, that was as an older person watching it, it's like, yeah, well, I'm not shocked because he's clearly a creep. You know what I mean? He's clearly an aim for the higher bidder, but I was always thought he's quite a funny comedic character for the good guys, but then from to do a turn, I thought, as a kid, I was like, oh, no way, I liked you.
Yeah, he's Starship Troopers. He's also the dad in Stand By Me.
Really? I don't even recall seeing face in Stand By Me.
He only has a couple of scenes when Will Wheaton's in his brother's bedroom.
Right. Now this always turned my stomach, this scene.
Oh, this is fucking... Again, this goes down to Rob Bottin in this, so...
Yeah.
This is like a bit.
Oh, I mean,
this is a baby little nod to The Thing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Fucking
It was
creepy that.
so kind of bold and adventurous to do something like this.
I mean, even the head in the background, just like breathing away.
Yeah. See, this is stuff like this why I'll always favour visual effects, like practical effects, rather than visuals. It's just like, don't get me wrong, I mean, CGI has made cinema to a certain extent a much better and much creative place. But, I mean, this totally would have been CGI now, and it's just like, I don't know, the imperfection of it. The fact that you can see that, like I say, our earlier scenes with Arnie, and it was clearly like a mannequin head that they used, and animatronics and stuff like that. I just feel like it's got a little bit more artistry to it. And I don't want to take away, like, obviously there's people who do CGI work who do hours and hours and so much hard work to make something look a certain way. But I don't know, in my head, it's like, if it can be a practical effect over a CGI effect, I'm 100%.
I mean, looking at this shot now without the era of CGI, do you know what I mean? I mean, it's a model.
Like,
do you know what I mean?
This, and I mean, even younger people might look at it and go, "Oh, but it looks so fake." I says, "Yeah, but imagine we know it's fake, but the effort that's gone into doing that just holds a lot more weight to me than someone who will say, like, if you watch a bad CGI film back in the late 90s, it looks terrible in some respect, but it doesn't, like, I don't know, I never feel like any kind of love for it. I mean, I can watch now, like, The Mummy Returns, when The Rock comes into it. Is it Mummy Returns or the first one?
Aye, Mummy Returns, yeah.
Mummy Returns, and like I say, there's just no getting away from that film when The Rock comes out as fully CGI character. It's just like, that's no good, like. Or even worse, actually, funny enough, I mentioned earlier on to a mate, I watched the Harry Potter films last year, and literally it's so weird to watch because you can tell it's the best available at the time, but literally there's a scene where they go on the brooms and it goes from being a real film, and I swear to God, mate, it's probably like the worst end of PlayStation 1 graphics, and it just totally takes you out of it. That's why I feel like with some of these films, it got mentioned earlier on about how Star Wars is still like kind of up there as the best franchise, and someone argued with Lord of the Rings at one point. And I love Lord of the Rings, and I do think they do hold up well. But the reason why I think Star Wars is still talked about, and it's like based on the 70s, where there's a lot of CGI films now where I don't think they'll be talked about within the next 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, massive rant there.
No.
The big shootout scene here.
See,
I love those drills.
The thing is, we've been doing what was the last podcast we did together? Demolition Man, and then we've had Paul for like 6 podcasts now.
Yeah.
So we're used to like giving Paul, like Paul comes in with his Paul facts, waits for his cue.
Yeah.
But saying that though, have we passed the hour mark? Oh, well over.
Well,
that's it. So when there's 3 of us...
just be any more than 2, yeah. Weird that, though. I mean, someone must have made a decision of going, there's more than 2, we're going to have to cut them off after an hour.
Oh, and not going anywhere. The heel turn.
Oh, see, I remember seeing this thinking, what a dickhead.
Normally in roles like that though, you go, I remember him from that. Normally actors like that get like a second role in another movie before they really drop off the grid and that, but I've not seen him in anything else.
Nah.
Fucking hell, that's some airlock, that, isn't it? Quick, open. Now, whoever shoots him in the head here, it's a great shot considering the guy's arms in front of it.
Because he's pretty much right under the body. Oof. Oh, did that go through the body?
Aye.
And it went through him, aye.
Imagine having that on your desk. Imagine that though, now it'd be like, selfie on Facebook, Quid's dead. Or Krang, or whatever it's called. Oh mate, there's a company on Instagram. It's a company what's using the logo as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, a Skeletor.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen it. It looks like Skeletor, but it's got like a turtle's yellow head. And they've released a Krang pillar from like a cushion.
Oh, right.
And it looks class, like, but like I run last night and it's just called the Brain Cushion. So you know, again, it's a limited run before they get a cease and desist. And we almost ordered one last night, and it was like $30. Then Brit was like, "Oh, it's going to be $18 on top of that." And I was like, "Fuck that, Brit, because then we'll get a customs charge. I'm not paying 50 quid for a pillow."
Yeah.
Really good, like, idea though.
Oh, absolutely. So I've just IMDb'd Mel Johnson Jr., who plays Benny, and to be honest with you, the first thing it comes up was known for, of course, is Total Recall, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and his most recent known for is 2000, which he was a producer on something called The Vault. But he's still, he's not really active, like...
So he's basically been in TV.
Yeah, between 2004 he did nothing until 2017, and then he did a role in a series. Jessica Jones. I didn't know. Forgot him in there. That was in 2018. So yeah, pretty much not much at all. It's interesting, like you say, because he's a standout character in a film like this.
Fucking Michael Ironside, 267 acting credits.
Christ almighty.
I didn't realise he was in Top Gun, although I'm not a massive fan of Top Gun.
Oh yeah, Top Gun he was. One of the commanders, one of the big wigs.
But if we just go back to that era, obviously Top Gun, again, Watches is a movie I love. Minefield, Total Recall, so he did Highlander 2 straight after that. No, really. Oh, he's in Free Willy. Fatherhood. Red Scorpion 2. Yeah, I mean he's constantly worked, but this is definitely his peak.
Yeah. I quite like that reveal there when it's obviously we've been watching the footage of Arnie throughout the film, and then obviously in the end it shows you that the camera pans out
and he's
actually stood next to the big bad.
Not getting out of them ones.
It's impressive how she's like flailing around there. That takes a lot of energy, doesn't it?
Hauser. He's a fucking asshole.
I was gonna say probably. I think we'll have to like do a poll and see who has the best, let's say 80s/90s action name, because there's some pretty good corkers out there. Like,
I'm going to point out as well, Total Recall is the name of Arnold Schwarzenegger's autobiography that I've got hardback. I've fucking never picked it up because you could kill somebody with that book. It's like the Bible.
I'd be interested, but I'd be more interested in listening to it. Having Arnie just sit there, tell me.
Give these people air. Do it now. Come on, give them air.
I can only do the put the cookie down. Oh, there's the infamous stare.
So this is before he did Terminator 2 as well, isn't it? So
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm already like doubting myself as an idea, but what do you reckon would have happened if, let's just say, Arnie and Stallone did get on and stuff like that? What do you reckon would have happened if Arnie was a villain in one of the Rockies? Because that's like something that he's got the physique for it. He would have probably not done the whole Ivan Drago role, but he would have definitely been the more like the giant figure that is just unstoppable.
I mean, what's to say
I'm
that?
trying to imagine if he could be a boxer.
But what's to say Arnold Schwarzenegger? That was probably where they got the idea for that character. You know what I mean?
Well, this is it. Yeah.
I can't see Schwarzenegger boxing though.
That's the thing. I just don't know if he could do it. I mean, he's obviously a very athletic person, but I don't think he's got like the agility. I think he's too clunky.
Yeah. Oh, feel that right in the ribs. And then, right, again, though, you can look at that and go, right, is less or more better? Do you know what I mean? Because you can kind of look in there and go, right, it's Rob Bottin and Paul Verhoeven. Some of them would have been extensively more worse than they are. But again, how do you keep the rating down?
But I feel like because it's the picture that we're painting here, so we're on a different planet, and it's like, it's just already a little bit obscene. Like, if they'd been in New York City in an everyday scenario and they did all that, it would have been too much.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, that's mental. But the fact that you throw the sci-fi element to it, I feel like it's a little bit more forgiving.
As Jerry Goldsmith's score there really started to shine a little bit. I don't know, like, if you'd seen that, but what was going to be worse there, walking out the elevator, either getting hit with an axe in the stomach or just getting a back fist off Schwarzenegger.
I don't know, I might go for the axe. A little bit of a green screen or blue screen.
Yeah, it'll be a blue screen, that one. Oh, the poor fish.
Poor fishes.
Get them picked up now.
Would have been better off with Captain Louser.
No goldfish were hurt during this movie bullshit.
Sounds awful, right? But I wouldn't have believed that if it said at the end of this film. I could totally imagine it being like, yeah, let's just goldfish will be fine.
That's it though, taking out the source of the power. You know, it's like the sun.
It's mental though, isn't it? Because that's not like, and it might come off sound stupid here, but that's not like crazy thought processes into the future, is it? When you think about it, like we're going to be kind of being given not like artificial air, but controlled air. It's going to be like kind of, I don't know. It just didn't feel like right now. I can't imagine that being like too far fetched.
No, I mean you go outside and you got all the air.
Yeah. You think of disease and stuff like that, and say, hold on, if we control the environment, we can control how it gets spread and how like certain airflow works and stuff like that.
And then all of a sudden there's a cost on it, you know, like it's not council tax, it's air tax, and you think, fucking hell, man, you cut the trees down. Why are you blaming us for?
Yeah.
Now this was quite close to the Labyrinth though, wasn't it? But this one looks like it's on steroids.
Yeah. I need some Muppet to jump out in a second.
I love it how Schwarzenegger knows exactly where he is. Have this, Benny. Screw you, Benny.
I've got obviously you can't see Diddley Scott with those lights on, like.
Did he get hit on the shoulder a little bit?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's yeah. Screw you, Benny!
Ouch. Anyone with a plaster?
There goes the hydraulics. Again though, he goes through the wall and he takes them to like where they need to be though, innit?
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just getting to the next part, but oof, that seemed a lot heavier for her than she expected it. The rock falling down.
Screw you! Oh, they're operator only. When it's written on the door.
Aye, but that's still a lot of power just drove through that sort of metal door.
I mean,
Screw you, Benny!
I've been building a fence all day, so I've just been screwing woods, and even then I'm like, right, pressure on, like. Again, though, it doesn't show you him getting killed. It's the drip of blood coming out, and it's like, right, he's dead.
Yeah. Which is unusual given the tone of this film so far. You would have thought it would be like a bloodbath.
I think they must have had a lot of problems getting this as an 18, you know what I mean? Again, they're like, I mean, especially because he had a lot of problems with RoboCop. The board are not going to go, right, it's a new Paul Verhoeven film, right, come here, sit down, let's watch this again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously, Schwarzenegger's got a lot of clout, and this was very heavily marketed. But like, all you need to do is this is his era where Schwarzenegger, his face, name of the film, and that's all you needed.
Yeah, well, like you say, he had a lot of clout. He had, like, I think it was quite unusual because he wasn't like, he didn't get producer and all like that, did he?
No, but he's married to one of the.
Over what happened.
He's married to one of the Kennedys, though, isn't he?
Yeah, aye. Oh, he definitely played his cards well, like.
I mean, The Rock is definitely the next generation of Schwarzenegger in this era, and he's doing the same kind of thing. You know what I mean? He's like, I mean, because of, say for example, if Instagram and stuff had been around in this era, you probably would have seen Schwarzenegger up to a lot of stuff, because even when he was governor, you hardly seen him, and like he's made some great choices coming back. Last Stand and Saboteur. He was going, well, I just want to make movies and have fun. He wasn't looking for Academy Awards. He was just happy to have be back in movies that he had no government commitments. But like some of his Instagram stuff where he's feeding his donkeys and stuff is fucking priceless. But if he had Instagram at this era, you would have seen him doing a lot of stuff that The Rock's doing, where he's got his own tequila, he's spending a lot of time with his family, but he's always travelling and coming up with ideas and stuff like that. So.
Well, it's mental because I don't honestly think, and I think in my heart I don't want it to be true, because I think it'll be the most ridiculous thing ever, but they literally, I'm like 99.9% sure that he said he's actually done the paperwork for going into politics, The Rock that is. He was talking about like going into being a president, stuff like that, and it was just like, I mean, don't get me wrong, that sounds ridiculous, but then you do live in a world of fucking Donald Trump, so I think they've allowed it to be that like level of crazy now. Like, anybody can be a president as long as you're American.
Yeah.
And it's quite weird, imagine, like, that would be the Rock thing to do, though.
It's the motivational speeches, I think. That's one of the big things, and I've seen the amount of Rocks doing all that, but, I mean, again, when Schwarzenegger appears in The Rundown, or also known as Welcome to the Jungle, where he goes, have fun. Even Schwarzenegger knew that The Rock was going to be the next big thing, and that shows you how fucking smart Schwarzenegger was.
Thing is, I'm noticing in the scenes, right? Are those just supposed to be vests, or are they supposed to be bulletproof vests? Because when you see Arnie shooting these guards down, the bullets are ripping through those vests like no tomorrow. I think they are supposed to be vests, but you just assume they're supposed to be bulletproof vests.
That's it, though. Even in like, you know, like the suits and all that, the helmets and stuff. I actually seen someone go in the shop the other day with like one of them welder visor on his face.
Really? Have you John Wick 3?
Yeah.
See, that's one of the really like the attention to detail about like how specific they were. Like at the end, when clearly they go running out and they're shooting these soldiers, and like there's no bullet getting past those suits. They literally have to squeeze a gun like underneath the neck just to get past the helmet. And I just thought that was really well done in the sense of like they admitted that the everyday gun is not going to get through them.
Is it Lethal Weapon 3 when they've got them red tips on the end of the bullets? Call them
Yes.
cock kibbers, yeah, that's it. Now, I made a joke about this on, was it the Baboonery, when Michael Ironside obviously goes out here, he gets his arms ripped off again as a kid. Fucking hell, he had his arms ripped off. You know what I mean? He literally falls out of this movie into fucking Highlander 2.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have just chucked him off, but no. And it's a whole...
Well. Ooh, here we go.
Oh, but it's a double kill. I mean, you see his arms come off, Schwarzenegger pulling away, and then the fall.
Yeah. See
I mean,
you at the party.
that was a bit shit.
Yeah, it wasn't a good line, like, was it?
Yeah,
How Arnie, you can do better than
you
that.
could have done better than that. Nice hanging with you. You know, something like that. Yeah, just like, what party? You're on about the rap?
For the hand.
But again, though, that kind of comedy, right? That there, see you at the party is like, right? You're finished now. You're dead from the movie. I'll see you at the rap party. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
The alien hand. Now again, though, here as well, like this whole technology, this was all built, and like all they had to do was press it, and Mars is. I mean, that's a nice use of a satellite. Mars is just can be absolutely cured in less than 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? By just pressing this button.
Well, this is it, yeah. It has to be simple, though, because given the character development there, I mean, they couldn't make it very technical, because Arnie, as his character, is not a technical person. So...
Oof.
Does anyone actually like cornflakes?
That was so random. Why did you just say that?
Well, because he says I'm going to be home for my cornflakes.
Oh, right. Well, see, the thing is, I can't hear them talking. You can.
Oh no, I've got subtitles on.
All right.
It helps me follow it while there's no sound.
I mean, to be honest with you, you've got to admit there, that shot she made there from hardly being up on the elevator was a good one.
It's a good shot, like.
And the baddie presses the button. Oh, I mean, that bomb, like, you know what I mean? Just picked it up and chucked it, like, alright, don't worry about it. But obviously it sets off the,
Looks like a satellite, like you said. You know, they're totally part of the set.
But again, though, this scene here was obviously, we've had this in Aliens.
Yeah.
Not long before. I mean, we had it in, is it Jason X? This is going to suck on so many levels, and you just see that scene. Even in, it was even in fucking Alien Resurrection as well. When that fucking weird abomination.
Yeah, when it gets sucked through the hole.
Oh, that's just so weird at the end, that movie.
See, I love everything about that film. The ending is just weird, but it's definitely not my favourite Alien film. But like, it is kind of get treated as a black sheep of the family.
It's
because I quite like Josh Whedon, and he didn't direct it, but it's his story.
Yeah.
He wrote it, and you can totally see the Josh Whedon in the writing in it.
Well, the director, he's French because it's a guy who directed Amélie. And, I mean, that's a visually stunning movie, but even that's never been released in an English dub, and there's a lot of the cast from that movie in it. And, like, to go, like, oh, he's going to do a new film, and it's sort of like... It was weird how they looked at an Englishman for the third one, but then a Frenchman for the fourth one, and it's...
Yeah.
Again, it was like... I think the film would have been better if they didn't bring Sigourney Weaver back and just went in a different direction.
Yes, absolutely.
But it was the Matrix era, wasn't it, really?
Well, that's it. I mean, there's a lot going on in that film, but I've got to say though, on part of what we're watching now, as like a list of ways of dying, to me, that's got to be the worst. The whole idea of suffocating, and like you, like obviously clearly your inside being like expanded and
I mean, going
out.
just to give a cheap plug out to my show, Welcome to the Land of the Long White Cloud, on episode 13 or 12, when Brittany nearly smothered us to death in his sleep, you wake up and you're you know, it's been underwater for 5 minutes. I was like, fucking hell. That is just fucking. I mean, that like they didn't go that extreme at the start, but the whole idea of his eyes fully popping out as well.
Well, I think they just wanted to tease it at the beginning and thought, no, let's not do too much. Let's wait until the end where we'll show it really effective.
But again, this whole thing, they're not going to be fine. Do you know what I mean?
No. I mean, like I say there, I mean, his eye, the bad guy's eyes were already pretty much out of his head by the time he finished rolling down the hill. Whereas you've got like the two obviously good guys, and they're pretty much just screaming. They don't look like they're suffering nearly as much. I
mean, fair enough, they're next to a massive gasoline event. But even then, I mean, look at that. I mean, people looking at the fucking mountains on fire. But that whole... You know, they just slowly, quickly wrap it up, like, don't they? But again, This is why, again, it's all in his head.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, now watching it, I mean, I still stand by what I said. I mean, I kind of think, yeah, it probably was in his head, but I just like to think, I like to think it was real. It was...
I mean, you're talking about, like that's 3 of them of there that would have had to made 3 different rigs for them heads. For the girl and Ronnie Wilkes.
Well, I wonder if they used the original props. You remember that advert that was going around with Arnold Schwarzenegger on the tank? It was just his head, but it was like on a little, like it had like a little tread wheels, like a tank.
Oh, right,
I didn't know what it was. Now I think it was like an insurance advert or something like that.
Yeah.
It was really daft. But I'm now thinking, because it did look like it, so I wonder if they're using the same, like, I wonder if it went back and said, hey, have you got any Arnie heads lying around? We've got this great idea.
Well, if you ever feeling a bit merry and want something to watch on YouTube, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Japanese adverts, fucking priceless.
Right, yeah. And that was like the thing you did, though, didn't it? Because you thought, there's me in it, there's me out like that, so you think, no one's going to see this. And it was like such a money maker.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoop. Nah, they would have been dead by now.
I was going to say, like, they've got to be done by now. I mean, you can see the struggle, but... And we don't live in an era where you actually just see them die.
Lovely effect on that sky there, but...
They will go back to normal.
And I like, it's good here as well that the redness goes... I mean, again though, man, it's coming to a blue sky and it's happened in fucking 5 minutes. I mean, no. It's all in his head. The dream is over. When it fades to... I mean, why else would it fade to white at the end of the movie? You don't fade to white at the end of a movie.
But why would the dream be over, though? Like, is that the end? Is the dream is it a mission?
Well, that's
Does it become the end because he hit the button?
Well, that's
is
it.
That like him finishing
no, but then
game?
you go back, don't you? It's like the end of, like, you finally finished Red Dead Redemption. Now you have to wait 10 years for the next one till you're saved up to get the next installment. It's all in his head, man.
It's all in your head.
I know it's all in my head. Especially when I'm
the Lonely Tree is all just an imagination.
Aye.
That's a video you should do.
I already have enough fucking quirky videos like that, especially with fucking crazy clowns and Abrahams and stuff I can't fucking control.
See, now that's it. I mean, I do obviously agree to a certain extent, because clearly we know Mars is a red planet, and that's what it's always been like introduced to in real life or in this film. but then to turn it into what essentially now looks like Earth.
Yeah.
You know, it does obviously really lean toward the fact that it obviously is all a dream, but I don't know.
Oh, I mean that one shot there. That's look again. It's because they're going to pan way the fuck out.
Yeah.
And you got people. See, you've already got people on the top there, man, having a look. What's going on up there?
That's the cast and crew, that man. They don't know out of the shot.
Nah, it's all his head.
So he's gonna wake up back with his blonde wife again.
No, he's going to kiss. He's going to get the girl, but he's not going to get the full installment. Now again, all right, he's going to get the kiss. Gets a kiss, and then look, it comes from behind. Fades to white. Lobotomized.
Yeah, but why are you so like sort of hell bent on the fade to white? Like when film fade to black, what do you think that is?
The end of the
That's just
movie?
The film ending.
No, but then it goes to
so
but
the fact that it going fade to white, it didn't make any difference.
the thing with fade to white is though that's Arnold Schwarzenegger from his comedy goes, yeah, that's why they made it fade to white, because it's like the dream's over.
But that's his job, man. His job to make you think something else.
Well, no, he's
He's not going to tell you how it is.
well, no, like obviously, like I think it's it's this film 90. I mean, the commentary was 10 years later they did the commentary.
Yeah. But you can watch a lot of films like that though, where I mean, we're talking about the other day when we're talking about Groundhog Day. You know, Howard Ramos joked and said in an interview that the Phil character was in fact in limbo like for over like 10,000 years, and he said that in 2 or 3 interviews. But then like years and years later, he turned around and said, "Oh yeah, it was only about 10 years, I think." And like they changed their minds. I feel like personally, I'm not saying that you're definitely wrong, but when actors say stuff like that, my opinion is that they get like they're only saying what they believe. I can honestly see them reading the script and going, "Oh well, I totally believe that he's been in this world and that he doesn't really understand that it's not real." But then the director or the writer turn around going, "Oh yeah, you could look at it that way, or you could look at it this." So what we should do, right, is we should have Total Recall 2 with Arnie back again and just call it Total Recall DLC. That's it. There you go, Arnie. I'm putting it out there because I know you're watching it. Get yourself going. I mean, we'll do a nice little thingy coming back in as well. We'll let Colin Farrell. He can have a cameo.
Well, we should prep this and right, Paul. Make sure you've had all your shit, and we'll give you a ring back in about an hour and a half, and you let us know if it's in his head or not.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well,
definitely have him do a.
What?
Oh.
I was just going to wrap it up there, but then you spoke.
No, you're just going to cut us off. No, I totally agree. But
have you anyway? Are you going to do the numbers? Have you got the numbers ready? How much it cost and how much it made?
Listen, I don't think I'm in the position to step into Mr. Ray's position.
No.
I mean, it's going to break his heart if he thinks I'm taking his spot while he's having a shit.
Oh, Jesus. Right, well, I've been Stephen Monkey Mason. I've been joined by Lubo Carl. He's going to hate us, I keep calling him Lubo. But this has been the very unplanned, unresearched love for Total Recall. As I say, we're meant to do Police Academy, but we're only doing Total Recall, which again came randomly out of nowhere. I am wanting to try and track down Jerry Goldsmith's album after this, but yeah, thanks for listening for now. Goodbye for now.